What's up, you guys? Escape Kid here. So if you watched my live stream from yesterday or a couple days ago, I said that I was going to possibly make another support series video. I did this series a while ago on Destiny board. It was like 3 years ago. And I said I'd make some potential Traptrix support cards. So I'm not saying whether or not these should actually be created, because for all I haven't tested these at all. So for all I know, that these could be ridiculously overpowered and create the next tier 0 deck. Do I think they're super over the top? No, not really in comparison to much other stuff in the meta right now. But I mean, I think that it would turn Traptrix into a pretty competitive deck. Top 5 contender, not sure. Or maybe it's a tier 0 deck. I don't know, because people have ridiculous ways of just coming up with the most random shit, or coming up with cards that were obsolete for a decade and then bringing them back into the spotlight. You know what I mean? Like, there's too many players in this community to not find something broken about just about anything. So anyways, I'm going to go into my support cards. Hope you guys enjoy it. Here we go. So first, here's here's the first monster. I made 2 monsters, a field spell, and a trap card. So this is Traptrix Diamondback. So ignore the artwork on these, you guys. Like, obviously, they're just Google image pictures that I found. Anyway, so this card is unaffected by the effects of whole normal trap cards, just like all the other Traptrix. This one's an insect, and says if it's normal summoned, you can special summon 1 Traptrix monster from your hand or graveyard. 1 level 4 Traptrix monster from your hand to graveyard. So it essentially acts as another version of Dynea, but this one also acts as a Goblinberg over top of it. It's an insect, which means you can tribute, like, let's say, a plant, like Myrmilia or something like that, and then get Diamondback to hand, and then summon Diamondback, use Diamondback's effect, get the Myrmilia back, or you can, pull one from hand if you want to, like the, special one from hand. It's definitely, it's just another version of Dynea, but it just makes it so that, like, if you guys notice with the Traptrix deck, if any of you have ever played it, like, you set that play up with, like, let's say Naturia's Sacred Tree, and you get you tribute, or, you add Dynea to hand, let's say, and then you summon Dynea, get Myrmilia, pop it back or make your Exceed, but you don't really have anything to follow it up with unless you're lucky enough and get the second Dynea, so this definitely helps with that. Maybe you play like 3 Diamondback and like 2 Dynea or something like that. This, the difference being, and this is why I kind of balanced out, is this does not, I don't think either of the Traptrix monsters I made have effects when they're special summoned. So it makes it like, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to, special summon this off of Dynea, and then use the one I specialed off Dynea's effect and pull this back. Like, yeah, you can do that kind of stuff. I'm sure somebody will find some way to do that, if Traptrix ever come out with more support from Konami. So, but right now that's just what I have, is just a pretty basic 1600. Not a super big beat stick. None of that. So, anyway, that's the first one. That's Traptrix Diamondback. Then we're gonna Traptrix Golden Glow. Let me generate that real quick. Oh no, I gotta open it, right. Alright, so this is Traptrix Golden Glow. It's again another 16 by 12 monster. It's a plant though. It says if this card is summoned, you can special summon a level 4 Traptrix monster from your deck. That monster is treated as if it was normal summoned. So I like this card because I brought it up on my stream. I said, well, it'd be kind of cool if Traptrix got like their own tour guide or something like that. But yeah, so Traptrix Golden Glow, it's a plant, so you can add it off of a Sacred Tree if you still want to play Sacred Tree. It makes it its own little engine. You know what I mean? So you go Golden Glow or like, let's say you have you summon Myrmilia, you search for a trap hole, you set a couple back or a pass. Your opponent they do their stuff, you hole some of their stuff, you get rid of some of their stuff, and then on their end phase, you would go Naturia's Sacred Tree, tribute the Myrmilia, add a Golden Glow. So then you summon the Golden Glow. It says if it's summoned, you special summon a Traptrix from your deck, and then it treats it as if it was normal summon. So you go Golden Glow for Dynea or for Dynea or Diamondback, come to think of it, and then special summon like, let's say you do it off Dynea, and then use Dynea because it was normal summon, special summon Myrmilia, pop it back row, and then you overlay with, like, let's say Dynea and or like Golden Glow and Myrmilia, and throw down like a Rafflesia on the board. It's just a nice way to start setting up your control right off the bat, because if you guys have played the Traptrix deck, that it kind of it has a very few, like, once it does its plays, it doesn't have a lot to follow up with. You'll have your Rafflesia and play with a couple back row, but unless you top deck Dynea, you kind of just stop your plays there. So it's not the most recurring engine in the world, which is why I tried to go with that. I tried to make it so that it's more of a recursion engine while getting its trap cards and doing its plays, but not make it so that it's like ABCs where just every fucking thing in the deck floats and floats and floats and floats and floats. So anyways, that's Golden Glow. Then I have Traptrix Cosmos. yeah, it's a field spell. I decided to make a field spell because why the hell not? Why is the field spell icon not showing up? I think I had this problem in my other video. Yeah, okay, there we go. So Traptrix Cosmos, it's a field spell, obviously. I made these all commons. You know, you can mix match the rarities all you want, but I just figured more simple the better. So when this card is face up on the field, your opponent cannot target or destroy Traptrix monsters you control with card effects. It makes them all Magispectors, essentially. I don't think it does too much, though, because it's not like people are playing, Torrentials anymore. Or, it makes it so that it's a little bit immune to Slumber. So, like, your opponent, if they want to, like, try and Kaiju Slumber over top of your field, it makes it, like, let's say you have Rafflesia in play, it makes it so that Rafflesia is unaffected by trap cards, so they can't strike it and shit like that, but now they also can't, target or destroy it with, like, they can't Regeki the Rafflesia you have in play. It just makes it so that it becomes more of a stable setup, which I like. Anyway, so when it's face on the field, you can't target or destroy Traptrix monsters you control with card effects. And I also made it so that it's monsters you control, so if there happens to be any mirror matches with this thing, it doesn't make it derpy like in a Dark World mirror match or in a Gravekeeper mirror match where the Necrovalley or the Shaman affects both players. Then once per turn, you can discard one card from your hand, add a level 4 lower Traptrix monster, or add a level 4 Traptrix monster, or one whole normal trap card from your deck to your hand. You must control a face-up Traptrix monster, or reveal one normal whole trap card to activate this effect. So I made it so that it's not necessarily a one-card engine. You do have to have a whole or a Traptrix monster already in play. I also made that specifically if you control a face-up Traptrix monster, you can't just reveal a Traptrix monster in your hand or anything like that. So, like, you would have to, in theory, use your normal summon on, like, Myrmilio just to get Traptrix Cosmos to start rotating for your stuff. So it makes it so that it's not just this once per turn. I'm going to, like, as soon as I draw this card, I'm going to be able to, like, on turn 1, I'm going to be able to, like, start making Exceeds and shit. It does make it, though, so that it's not this just slow Rhoda effect, though. It does make it so that they are Magispectors, essentially. So if you go, like, summon Myrmilio, get a Trap Hole, set a couple back row, play the Cosmos, and then you would add you use Cosmos and add, like, add Dynea, or add Diamondback, or add Golden Glow, or whichever one the case calls for. And then, like, at your end phase, you can go Natrea's Sacred Tree, tribute the Myrmilio, and get something else. And then you can go with, like, Golden Glow, and then Golden Glow for Dynea, or Golden Glow for, Diamondback, or whatever the case calls for. And you start getting that engine flowing right off the bat. It still makes it so that the old cards aren't obsolete. Dynea is still very good, Myrmilio is still very good. Maybe it has some, maybe Atrax could work with it, because it makes it so that, it's unaffected. It's cannot target or destroy Traptrix monsters you control, and then also with Atrax, you can activate Trap Hole cards from your hand in case you don't have protection from Twin Twister or something like that. But I'm still not sure about that one. So, like, in theory, you would have, let's say, 3 Golden Glow, 3 Diamondback, triple Myrmilio, like maybe double Dynea, and you got the Cosmos and stuff like that. Maybe you play the one that, the one that's like 200 attack or something like that, because maybe it works with Sacred Tree still pretty well. It also works with Cosmos, and maybe you can start, like, bouncing the trap holes and stuff like that, and start reusing some of the effects off that. But yeah, I'm not sure. So it makes it, I'm trying to balance these out the best I can while still making them a solid deck by themselves. They need good support. They can't. We're not gonna get anywhere just by getting a bunch of Stratoses. Stratoses are nice. I keep forgetting the goddamn Traptrix's name. The one that's coming out that's a Stratos that's very good, but it's only when it's normal summon. It doesn't have any special summon effects, and doesn't really have any kind of, like, it doesn't advance your state forward. It just makes it so that next turn you can go Dynea. You know what I mean? And the last card I have is Derangement Trap Hole, I believe is what I call it. Yeah, Derangement Trap Hole. It's pretty simple. It's a normal trap card, and so if your opponent... actually, I'm not sure if this works, come to think of it, because I think this might have to be a counter trap. Negation is a counter trap, so actually this probably be a counter trap. Actually, no, I'm not sure. But anyways, because Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare is not a counter trap, it still negates the effects of something whenever it's special summoned, so maybe it doesn't. I'm not sure. If you control a face-up Traptrix monster, when your opponent activates a spell card or monster effect, negate the activation if you do banish it. It's not necessarily Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare, so that means that, like, they go Mulmarat, activate effect, or something like that right off the bat. Makes it so that they can't just instant fusion for Nodin over top of it. Derangement Trap Hole, it stops a lot of the, like, it stops, your soul charges, it stops your Twin Twisters. It helps out. I'm not having it be, I'm not making it so that you have to, like, tribute your Traptrix or something like that, because you are only going to have a certain amount of monsters in play at a time. You're going to have, like, the one Myrmilio, search for deranged Trap Hole, set it, and set, like let's say, like in, like, a Natrea's Sacred Tree, put your field spell into play, your Derangement Trap Hole over something, and then like a Floodgate Trap Hole over something, and then go end phase in a tree, Sacred Tree, pull, and then just try to get your engine going like that. And then from there, you can do the play I mentioned where you summon the Tour guy, and then special summon like Dine or special summon whatever, and then pull the Myrmilia back, pop a back row, overlay with 2 of them for a Rafflesia. Ideally, at least, you would go for Rafflesia, and that way you still have your Rafflesia in play, you still have a monster in play. Maybe you add other cards into the deck, like maybe Mist Valley Falcon if you want to. I probably wouldn't, but then you can play cards like Thunder King because it helps whenever your board is established. It's also not a bad first turn summon. It just makes it so that you keep your stuff going while maintaining field presence, while also not making it super over the top. I'm not making a Traptrix Soul Charge. Or I'm not making a Traptrix Void. No, not Void Seer. What's the one? It's you special summon up to 3 Infernoids from your fucking deck. Like, that's fair. I'm not doing any of that kind of shit. I'm just making it so that it keeps the engine going while getting the most value out of it while not breaking the game in the process. So those are my ideas for possible Traptrix support. Let me know if you think it's ridiculous. Let me know if you think it's not good enough. Let me know which kind of support you would give for Traptrix in the comment below. And yeah, that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you next time. Peace.